Good morning.
Good morning.
Or I guess, let me see, 10,
It's
11, it's afternoon for some people.
yeah, depending
Probably
on where you are.
I mean, we have people who watch all over the world, so good time of day it is to you.
Yes, excellent time of day to you as well. Good day to everyone. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
This is the rant where with Dr. Jay-Z and the Saint, where we have radically affirmative new thoughts and discuss them right here live with each and every one of you who would love to have this experience with us. So we're so grateful that you're here. Let us know you're watching and by clicking all of that stuff, right? All those hearts, all those likes. If you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up wherever you are watching. You can be watching in 8 different locations right now.
There's a new way that the kids are doing the heart thing, because not this anymore, right? I can't think of how they do it.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah. Anyway, I don't.
The evolution.
The kids.
The kids.
That's who I've turned into. I still think of myself as a kid.
Yeah, well, my mom says everyone who's younger than her is still a kid.
Yeah.
And she's 74, so she knows what she's talking about. She's got some experience on us for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching, let us know. Those loves, those likes, those shares, YouTube, there's a thumbs up for you to click on and for sure engage in the conversation.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're watching from and if you have something you'd like us to rant about, if you have any thoughts or ideas, we're always open to that.
Always. I was just thinking, I wonder if we'll have fewer people viewing today because at least in the United States, they may all be out shopping because today is that traditional Black Friday date.
Yeah, but they missed all the good stuff. If you're not crashing down the doors.
Yeah.
You're missing the sales, right? Yeah. So I actually read last week that the first Black Friday was it was caused by Cabbage Patch Kids.
I believe that.
In 1985, Cabbage Patch Kids came out.
In 1985, I was 12 years old.
I was 9.
And I probably wanted a Cabbage Patch Kid, even,
Yeah.
Even though
I got one for Christmas that year.
Even though it was not appropriate for a boy. Whatever.
That's silly. Who says?
Exactly. Who says? I think in my stocking that year, I got Sade's CD and a CD Walkman.
Yes.
That's what I got.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had to buy. Well, I bought my very first Discman, and I was probably in like junior high. So like grade 8, and I saved up all of my Christmas money and I went and bought my first Discman. And my first CD was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
What good consumers we are, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk about consumerism.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
How's your week been?
It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel I have a lot more energy. I'm sleeping better. I'm taking care of myself. I've made, like you suggested a couple weeks back, conscious completion. So I have done some conscious completion, and I'm wrapping up some things and starting some new things.
Nice.
Feeling good. How's your week?
My week has been good. It's been full. We had we had a really interesting thing happen last week. So I had a memorial service here at Unity of Tucson on Saturday, and I got here and I turned everything on, and we have stage lighting in our sanctuary, right? That is operated by like this. It's all operated by software. So we have a computer that tells the lights what to do, but in between the computer and the lights, there's an interface, right? And the interface just stopped working.
Ooh.
So I had set up and I turned the lights on for the memorial service. Thank goodness, because the lights were on.
Mm-hmm.
We could not get the interface to work at all. And so I was just like, you know what? Just leave it. We're going to do the memorial service. We'll figure out the lights afterwards. So do the memorial service. We go. Memorial service ends at about, 3. No, it was about 2:30. It was like a 1 o'clock to 2:30. And my dad, who's my technical director here, we sat down and we're like trying everything and trying everything and trying everything. Like we went and shut down the whole system, brought it all back up. Well, at that point, I'm glad we didn't do that before the memorial service, because when we turned everything back on, none of the lights came on.
Oh, goodness.
So glad I had the wherewithal to say the lights are on. We're doing the memorial service. Anyway, we ended up ordering a new interface, but this was on Saturday. So I was like, what are we going to do for Sunday service?
Right.
Well, when you relax and you allow, the answers are illuminated for you. And so the right person to call was made known to us, and we called them. They had a light board that we could borrow, like an old school light board with all the, faders. And plugged it in, was able to bring up lights for Sunday, and that was that. Anyway, we've got our new interface. It's all working fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're going to we're going to be decorating for the holidays with our big 12-foot Christmas tree that goes on our stage. And part of that is we're able to plug into our new lighting system that we didn't have at Christmas last year. And we'll be able to control the lights of the tree.
Oh, you guys are so fancy.
I'm very fancy.
You're so fancy.
Anyway, that was the way my week kind of started. It's been very full. And of course, yesterday, holiday here in the United States. And I ate a lot of turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes.
Yeah. I just want a piece of your pecan pie. I would love that.
I do make a good pecan pie.
It looks tasty.
Yeah. And I make a really good pumpkin pie. I know a lot of people are like, I don't like pumpkin. It's because you've probably always had pumpkin out of a can. Just saying.
Yeah.
I roast my own pumpkins, all that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You're just fancy all over the place.
Yeah. We're not really talking about any new thought stuff today.
No. It's the day after a holiday. Everybody's just waking up still from the turkey coma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let us know if you're watching, if you've got something you want to rant about. We're open to new ideas for sure.
Yeah.
We see there are people watching. So what's your ideas, beloveds? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I have an idea.
Yes.
As people are typing in their ideas. So there was that video I tried to show last week, remember, and I wasn't able to show it. Well, I figured it out, and maybe we should watch that video and we can have a chat about it. You've not seen this.
I have not seen this.
Okay. So we'll see if it makes sense to you.
Awesome.
And just as we prepare for this, I made this video sort of on the fly as an assignment for a class I did 4 years ago. Shall I hit play?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'll hit play. Here we go.
Imagine this is the field of all possibility, where your potential experiences are measured vertically and time is measured horizontally from left to right. This dot represents you at some point in time having an experience, maybe right now. We imagine it happened in linear fashion, something in the past leading to this moment, moving into the future. But maybe it was something else entirely that you experienced that got you to this point. And from this point, something may lead you in a different direction. In fact, there are all kinds of possibilities for how you got to where you are and where you're headed from here on out. You could have made other choices that have you at a different experience at this same point in time, or even another experience at this same point in time. How about this? You may have an experience in the past that led you to a different experience in the future, and a different experience in the future that was brought upon by the past, and so on and so forth. So the infinite potential and possibility always exists, and it's all rooted in the choices we make. That's the nature of life. But here's the thing. None of that really matters when we know that the moment you live in is this moment right here, right now.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So life is geometric.
Perhaps. I think that, so what I was getting at there is that, we perceive that it was the one line that got us to this point. And we oftentimes narrow our path to an idea of a very limited idea moving forward. I think that's what I was really getting to, and ended up being the conversation in that class that I was taking. But, when we broke open our idea that, the possibilities for how we got to this point are infinite, and what is to unfold, the possibilities are infinite. It for me, it was an invitation to kind of let go of the importance I put on so much of the stuff out there, thinking that has any bearing. Just a reminder that what I choose in every moment is directing what will be. And so I don't need to get lost in what has been. I don't need to get lost in what I anticipate in an anxiety state of mind about what will be. I get to be fully present here and now, and really live fully, right, in the here and now. So that's what I was getting at, I think, in that. Yeah,
the here and now is the only place and time.
Yeah.
Because time is an illusion. It's a construct. It's a human construct so that we can measure.
I'm going to say it's not a human construct.
Okay.
We
more.
perceive it as a human construct, but
right.
Like Einstein proved that time is relative. And so our construct shifts based on relativity. I watched another video this morning. It was talking about you can never see anything enter a black hole. Did you know that? You can never see anything enter a black hole because the perception of time shifts as you get into the greater gravity well. And as like the video showed, it was an animated video. It said, imagine that you shoot a rocket into space and it's on a trajectory straight for that black hole. And in the window of the rocket, you see the astronaut waving back at you. And as the rocket gets closer, it seems to be slowing down, and the astronaut seems to be waving more slowly because the gravity is affecting the time, right? And it said that when it hits the event horizon, which is where nothing can escape, what it will look like is it will stop it will look like it stops entirely, and it will simply over time just fade, but you will never see it actually enter the black hole. It will seem to stop at the event horizon. And it's all related to this time is relative, because our perception of it is based on where we are gravitationally and how fast we're moving and things like that.
Yeah.
So time is also fluid. It's not a constant. Time is not a constant.
Oh yeah, daylight savings proves that. The time is an illusion. It's like,
I'm like, not quite what I'm saying.
We just say it's a different time now.
Yeah, but
things like our animals' perception of time.
But the faster you go in space, the more time actually slows down.
Yeah. The things I always think about the movie Interstellar. Have you ever seen that movie? I think it's brilliant. And there's a couple things in that movie that are just like mind blowing, and a lot of them is our construct of time, our awareness of time, and how if like over here time is moving in our how we would measure it, but then if you go down to this planet over here, it's doing this because, and it's all gravitational pull, right? It's all that's how it is. So it takes us 30 years to get through something, and they've done 100.
Yeah, that's the I mean, that's kind of the same principle that, Christopher Nolan, who was the director of that movie, it was actually there are physicists who say it was actually grounded in and there are liberties that are taken, yes, but mostly it's grounded in solid principle. Yeah.
The scene that is mind-blowing now, and this is total spoiler if you haven't seen it and you want to go watch it, this is total spoiler.
Like, if you haven't seen it by now,
you're probably not going to.
Yeah. But it is absolutely worth a watch.
It's absolutely worth the almost 3 hours that you will be sitting through that movie. But I have watched it multiple times, and every time, like this concept where the main character is trapped in a space-time continuum where all space and all time exist, and it's like, so you can engage in the past if you find the right spot inside of this space-time vortex-like experience. And I love that. That's how I would believe that's how I would describe infinite consciousness in like how they brought that to life, because no matter where you are, you have the power to go into the past or into the future right where you are through your consciousness. And how, like, we might think, oh, why did this happen to me? How do I know it wasn't my future self going back in consciousness and delivering a message to me in such a way that I could understand it and move towards my future self with ease and grace, right? How do I know I'm not in this moment right now, having not been connected from a past self, like, because I am everything all the time, infinitely and eternally. I am that interstellar experience, and consciousness is everything.
Well, I think about, if you break down the notion of time and space, and when I talk about space, I'm talking about, not just like empty space. I'm talking about like matter. Like, I'm talking about like the relative expression that we experience on this plane of action as the as the subatomic going up to the macrocosmic. And if you take away the notion of time within that, well, then every possibility, every probability must exist simultaneously, because if it didn't, then we would have no way of experiencing time. So our time is just simply our sense of time is just living through the different iterations of possibility. And so if we are purposeful in our approach to thoughts, beliefs, feelings, then what is actually unfolding is we are directing our pathway through possibility. That might be the name of my book, The Pathway Through Possibility.
Ooh, write that down.
Write it down right now. Hold on, I gotta.
Yeah.
The Pathway Through Possibility.
So I love watching time travel shows and movies, and everybody hates watching them with me because I pick them apart. Like, you guys, you wouldn't be on the same parallel. You would be in a different universe if you went and changed. If you go back and change something, you're not going to ever land back where you started. So it's a one-way trip.
Yeah. I want to point something out. I noticed something last week, by the way. And so I'm changing the subject slightly because I just want to be aware that people may be posting comments, but we may not be seeing them. I noticed last week when we finished our rant, I went and looked at some of the videos, and there were comments that had been posted that did not show up on our comment thread. And I think it's related to the Unity of Tucson page and the One Love Awakening page. Like, I think we see our the comments from our personal pages.
Oh, interesting.
That we stream to, but I don't think we're seeing them from our pages for our organizations, just so you know.
Oh,
So if
that's
you are
good
commenting
to
there, I'm
know.
sorry that I
Yeah,
don't remember seeing your comments.
that is good to know.
Wayne said wiggle it a little bit.
Yeah.
Wiggle the cord.
Yeah. You tried turning it on and off.
Yeah.
Oh, well that's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to time dilation.
Where are you watching? Which channel are you watching on? We see that you're on Facebook.
Mhm.
Let us know where you're watching so we know where we can see the comments from.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we see you, but I see people are watching on our pages.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, we can see
Yeah.
that you're watching, but
We can see.
yeah, and I think it's I love the technology, and then they like try to protect people by not letting comments come through, and then I'm like, well, the technology is kind of not serving us then, is it?
It's not serving us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's here to be engaged with.
But you know what? Think about the technology that allows you to be in Winnipeg, me to be in Tucson, and us to share in this experience, like, frankly, all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was growing up, like, we had to be aware of like not being on a long distance phone call for more than about 2 minutes because of the cost of it. But now we have
Right. Yeah.
free access,
Unlimited data.
communication.
Yep. Yeah, I remember back in 1992 when my small northwestern Ontario town got dial-up, right? Our first experience of internet. So you'd go and you'd hit dial-up, you'd connect through a number, and then you'd go make your beverage and your snack, and you'd come back and it'd still be like making those sounds. And so you do a bio break and then you come back and then you got to load Merc, which was like this chat, right? So you could chat with people all over the world, but it was like so slow.
Yeah. I think what we had was, I think it was called CompuServe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like just bulletin boards and ways to, bulletin boards and chat. Like,
yeah. And now we have forums and Reddits and like,
this
we can talk. I know, like it's amazing to me, like on Wake Up Say Thank You, when people from Italy and Korea and Norway, they're watching Wake Up Say Thank You. Like it's amazing. And that it's in real time, right?
Yeah.
Like it's in real time. There's no lag. I say something, you respond. Where like even
well, we don't perceive the lag.
Yeah, we don't perceive the lag. That's a good point. But like old CBC news back in the day, and now reporting live on scene. Are you there? Okay. Right? It's like we take up all of that space and time just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
For them to say, this is the largest pumpkin in history today. Look at this pumpkin. We're out in this field with this beautiful farmer, and now it's like I get 4 different news things directly in my inbox. I know what's happening today. Mm-hmm. Instantaneously. Technology is definitely here to support us, and when we use it consciously, we can do great things.
Conscious use is important in that.
Conscious use is important. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, with that, like without ideas for the rant, you guys, I see there's 5 people watching on One Love Awakening's Facebook page.
I'm gonna go to Facebook. I'm gonna see if
that's a good idea.
Come up.
And see what's happening, because we definitely see Wayne.
Yes.
Online magic. Yes. Yeah. And I'm not even upstairs near a book, so I could otherwise.
Well, you know me, I can always
pull a card. Let's pull a card.
Oh no, you know what? I know what I want to do. Hold on.
Yes.
Intention dice.
Yeah, intention dice. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
7.
Oh, hold. All right. So the intentions that came up There are 5 here because there are 5 dice. So evolving, serene, curious, generous, steady. Okay, so Denise is saying that she's watching on One Love Awakening.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just may be a day where
everybody's still in their turkey coma.
I think, admittedly, I kind of am. I love it.
I didn't have turkey last night. What did I have? Oh, I made spaghetti with spaghetti squash and a spaghetti sauce and some vegetables.
Yum. So evolving.
Evolving.
Yes, and this is on the blue dice, which is, so blue is, is related to, according to this, health.
Health.
Yes.
Oh, definitely. Evolving in health.
Yes. What is it? Well, what does evolution mean? How do you define it?
Oh my God. How would I define evolution? A continuous growth and forward movement to reach our possibility and potentiality. Let's just
so that sounds like
make stuff up.
So that sounds like there's an intentionality around evolution. Is there intentionality around evolution?
I think there's an intelligence, because I believe that an intelligent presence is back of absolutely everything.
Okay.
Does that intelligent presence have intention? I don't think so, but how would I know? Because there is that intelligent presence that is greater than I am, that shares its mind with me.
Okay.
So, but like evolution is a forward movement.
A forward movement
that is beneficial. I would say it's a beneficial forward movement.
Okay. I'm just thinking about like the notion of forward movement, because if it's just forward movement, we can move forward and never change. Think about that.
Are you really moving forward if you're not changing?
So I think that there has to be an element of transformation in that as well. Denise says evolution, growing from a simpler form to a more complex one. Yes, and I think that, that there is also a complexity that develops, a greater complexity. This will go right into the notion of the study of spiral dynamics, which says, each of the V-memes is more complex than the previous.
Right.
Because
we know more and we understand more.
I also feel like, with the notion of, and by the way, just so you know what the dice looks like there it is.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah. I think the notion of evolution. So when we learned what we learned to become ministers in this spiritual philosophy, one of the things that we talk about, I don't know if you recall this, is the notion of emergent evolution. That's a really important kind of concept that certainly Ernest Holmes focused a bit on. And the definition of emergent evolution is that when something requires change, it changes. That's, it literally comes down, it's that simple. When something requires change, it changes. And that does speak to the idea of an intelligence at the back of all creation. When something requires change, it changes. When we needed fingers, we grew them. I think that's actually the thing he uses in the definition of emergent evolution in the book, which of course your mom will love this. I can always reach to it and look it up. Da, da, da. Oh, here we go. Well, so I think it's in a different part of the book, but in the glossary, he says, evolution is the passing of spirit into form. Evolution is the time and the process through which an idea unfolds to a higher state of manifestation. And since ideas are divine realities, evolution will go on forever. So this is the call. If you fear change, you're fearing your progression in life.
Yeah.
And what is there to fear? Because we are inevitably changing. We're inevitably growing. We're inevitably in that process.
Change is the only constant.
Exactly.
Yeah. I bring this up all the time. I drink from this mug every single day. I've had this mug for 30 some years. I've had
Mhm.
this one mug,
Yes.
and it says change.
Yeah. Mine says no drama.
Yeah. Change
know.
is life-giving. It helps us grow into someone greater than we already are.
Yes.
So carry that every single day with me. Change is,
Yes. My no drama llama mug.
yeah, no drama llama. Like, if we didn't change, what would be the freaking point of this life? Like,
Well, if we didn't
because
change,
I would just be who I've always been. And
right.
for a lot of us, who we have been isn't who we want to be or what feels like it's called from us to become. So change is vital. It's like breath.
Yeah.
And necessary for an expansive life.
Yeah.
An evolutionary life, for sure.
Every time I think of change, I think of that lyric from, I know everybody's talking about it, from the musical Wicked. I mean, it's the only thing I hear on so many media channels these days is because the movie came out last week. But that opening lyric of the song Defying Gravity, something has changed within me. Something is not the same. And that is the turning point for that character, to recognize that we're all in a state of constant unfoldment, and we are not required to be who we were yesterday.
Yeah. And if change wasn't possible, what would be the point of prayer?
Right. There would be no point.
There would be no point.
Yep. You wouldn't be able to change it even if you thought So,
and we know there's a point to prayer. We've talked about it all the time.
Absolutely.
Literally to change our mind.
Literally to change our mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wayne just put up think pink, which makes me think, here's my pink dice.
Oh yes, pink
die.
one. Okay, and
right?
Pink is
love.
Love, of course.
And the word that came up is serene. So how do you define love first?
I apparently need to be a walking dictionary on rant days.
Well, I think part of what I always want to know is like, so what is the basis upon which I'm now going to speak? So that for me is always, well, how do I define it? How do I understand it?
I love that.
Grow from there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Just love for me is like this unconditional acceptance.
Okay. Acceptance of what?
Yes.
Acceptance of yes.
Acceptance of myself, acceptance of others, I get at the base of it here, the acceptance that in truth principle, that everything is divine. I am that. And so if God is love, God is acceptance. If I am everything God is, then I am accepted exactly as I am. Because self-love is a huge thing for people, like to discover self-love, and that just comes down to accepting yourself exactly as you are. Fails, celebrations, every part of you. So love and acceptance for me walk hand in hand.
Okay. Yeah, I'm grateful that you reflected a bit on self-love, because as one of my gurus offers, every time she closes her television show, she says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anyone else? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
And
yeah.
That is the lovely RuPaul.
Yeah. And we're getting comments. Yeah. Love is the current and frequency of the universe.
Oh, I love the idea that it's the current. Yes, the frequency, but the current of the universe as well, because there's a creative aspect, I think, also at the core of this idea of love.
Yeah. I love the word current, like to just.
Yeah. And current is about flow. And if we are maintaining the flow, living in the flow, then we are living in the love.
Ooh, the current of love.
Yes.
Denise says, benevolent concern for myself, others, the universe.
Yeah.
That's another beautiful word, benevolent.
Yes. I think so. Yes. And it's one of those things, I can always go to the textbook definition that was offered by Ernest Holmes, where he said love is the self-givingness of the spirit to itself for the purposes of creation.
Yes.
And then people are like, what does that mean?
Right.
But it is actually related to that current.
Yep.
Right. Love is the self-givingness. It is the participation in the current of creation. And as we participate in the current of creation, we are the creators of our experience, and we are co-creators with the divinity that we inherently are as well. And so it all starts with, I think, again, go back to self-love, because if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anyone else?
That's right.
Yeah.
Another way to use current is like, what's happening now, right? Current. It's currently happening. I just had that thought because the current and frequency of the universe. That makes, it's just like all points, all intersections. This is here and now is right here.
Yeah.
And right now. And it's the frequency of love. We get to tune into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tune into love.
Tune into love. Somebody said last week, they said it's not a full rant until Jonathan sings.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I'm singing my song all the time.
Yeah, me too. I sing throughout the day. Actually, I know when I'm like doing some struggling or, in not feeling myself, because there won't be song in my day. But if I'm tuned into myself and feeling good, there's song all over the place, So that's an awareness I have about myself.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that, Leah, in relationship to love, it is the life force.
Yeah. Life force energy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's who you are, because you are the outflow of life force energy. You are a facet of the infinite life force. There's no aspect of you that is not life force itself.
That's right. Every breath of you.
Yes, every breath of you.
Every breath of you, every morsel of you. I'm a like pixels and particles. Every pixel and particle of you is energy. And
so the yellow dye.
Oh yeah, yellow dye
is creativity, is its theme. And this one invites us into curiosity.
Curiosity. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep. I have signs. I've had signs up around me that says "Stay curious." Yeah.
I love the idea of curiosity, because it's also, it really is an invitation to expand what I think I know. Because of course, I forget who coined it, but we know what we know. In some cases, we know what we don't know. And we don't know what we don't know. And that's where curiosity comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Socrates said way back in the day, something very similar to what you have been saying, in that, I don't know anything now. What do I need to know? And so we hear this now. I don't know anything. So what do I need to know? Socrates said, all I know is that I know nothing.
Yeah. Now, what can I know?
And now, what can I know is the evolution of that. Like Socrates was the great grandfather of critical thinking and self-inquiry. And so, in 399 BC is when he transitioned into his next iteration.
Yeah.
And he was speaking wisdom we're still trying to grasp today. Right. That's what I love of like philosophy. We don't really ever have the answers. We're just always in the question. And that's what I love. Stay curious. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't I've got a list of do's and don'ts, and these are all for myself. You can do whatever. Everybody can do what they want. But for myself, I have signs up to remind me, don't jump to conclusions. Because in my past, an evolution of me is jumping to conclusions, messing up my life crazy, cleaning that mess up, and putting a sign on my wall that says, don't jump to conclusions. Like, that's an evolutionary process of mind. So we get to be like, we get to change our mind. We get to evolve and expand and grow.
And what a blessing that is.
Or stay exactly the same. We're the choice makers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Because so I'm going to lead us to the next die, which is the purple die, which is the theme of that die is strength. Right? And on this one, it is inviting us to be steady.
Yes. That's a good word.
Yeah. Now,
steady now.
So how does steadiness relate to evolution?
Oh, I think it's a perfect correlation.
Yeah, tell me.
Because evolution is the steady force that's in movement. So it's steady, it's consistent, it's infallible and unchangeable.
So what you're saying is that whatever we put into the infinite law of mind is exactly what we receive from it.
That's right.
So where does evolution unfold in that?
Oh, I thought he's asking you guys.
No, I'm asking you.
So comments in there.
Here. You are the minister that I am seeking answers from.
How is evolution steady?
Well, whatever we put into the law of mind shows up in our expression, right?
We're just the circulation of divine presence.
So that could be taken as, oh, well, it doesn't change. It's just whatever I put into it shows up. Right? So there's no change. So we talk about evolution meaning change.
But are you only ever putting the same thing in every single day? I mean, you look at most life. Most of life is like Groundhog Day. You know that movie, Groundhog Day? Where it's just
very New Thought movie.
It's New Thought. It's one of my favorite movies, actually. Andy McDowell, most days just look the same, but they're going to look the same if we're just going with the flow, even if there's an evolutionary process happening. So if you're steady and consistent in your conscious use of prayer, you're evolving yourself. The divine mind that is presence everywhere, it's not evolving. It's steady. The divine power and presence of the universe is steady, consistent, and unchangeable. Our use of the law as a unique and unrepeatable expression, it might look like the same day over and over again, but if you are planting new thoughts into your life through prayer, if you're clearing out the muck and mire through counseling or therapy, if you're doing your work because there's something calling you to change, to shift, to evolve, that's a steady thing. You don't just do one prayer. I mean, you can, as an absolutist, you can do one prayer and everything can be changed. Absolutely. But for most of us, it's work, and we work the process. And we use the power that we know is in this intelligent mind to change our lives. So we're steady in our evolution because we're consistently placing into the law of mind new ideas and new thoughts. But you got to treat and move your feet.
Yeah.
So,
So,
the evolution is the practice.
so what I
and
hear you
consistency.
saying, this is what I'm
Mhm.
hearing,
Mm.
is that the infinite law of mind is infallible, consistent, steady, and invites and is there's a word that I want to use, and it's on the tip of my tongue. But because the law itself is unchangeable, that the evolution is actually happening at the level of awareness, the level of conscious awareness. And when we are changing our mind,
Mhm.
the law acts upon that. If it did not act in a consistent and steady manner, then we wouldn't know what we would be, getting on the other side.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. I love this. Most days look the same until suddenly they don't.
Yeah.
Exactly. One day you just wake up,
Mm-hmm.
right? One day you just wake up and realize those 7,000 prayers I did got answered today of all days. And I think that is amazing. Yes.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Denise, again, she's on fire today.
Mm-hmm.
It's the daily practice toward evolving that is steady. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
And I think too, we can be purposeful in
Mhm.
our decision to step into evolution actively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some, it just evolution is
Reliable.
different.
That's the word I was looking for. The law is reliable.
Reliable. Yes, absolutely. Like hands down the most reliable thing in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I was welcoming the
Mhm.
word into my
That's interesting because reliability is one of my highest values. Like I like being a reliable source of consistency is important to me.
Yeah.
Like each and every day, my beloved wife knows who's showing up for her every single day, right? My family knows exactly who's showing up for them. My friends, they know who they're getting when they're with me.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all like people. I mean, Jonathan, you are one of my longest friends, long time friends, and
Mm-hmm.
like 13 years ish.
Yeah.
And so I say, like, thank God for evolution and change, because the people who love me today will like 20 years ago, Steph, was messy.
Yeah.
Consistently reliable in the mess, right? So the things that I'm reliable about now are different. That's the evolution. And God, like, it's God's grace and God's glory through me that I had the ability to change and evolve, because messy back there. It was messy back there.
Well, yeah, and if in its reliability, if we are not willing to change our minds, then nothing in our lives will change, and that's the whole point of New Thought. When you go down to the catchphrase of "change your thinking, change your life." I mean, I think we have evolved into greater depth of understanding of that. But yeah, it will remain. Nothing will change until you change.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. Nothing will change until you change.
Yeah.
Now, changes do happen below the level of awareness, to be sure, right? To be in that state of awareness. But they're always going to be rooted in some belief system that we are maintaining. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and it's just, don't give up.
No.
Right? Like that's the thing about growth and change and evolution, because it looks messy. I mean, the caterpillar, if it knew the transformation that was going to take place, we wouldn't have butterflies. If it had a conscious awareness of what was going to happen to make itself a butterfly, we would not have butterflies. And so the thing about our human experience of change is that we're aware that change looks messy, and change can be painful and transformation, when you're used to the old way,
Mm-hmm.
we would rather be in the familiar and the comfortable than discover something magnificent about us that would change everything, because we're not willing to open the door.
Yeah.
So don't quit on yourself in the mess, right? Like what's that saying? You might be going through the valley of the shadow, or like if you might be going through hell, don't set up camp.
Right.
Don't put up your tent in the midst of it, because there is always there is evidence of evolution. So there's evidence that people like me grow and evolve and can change their mind and change their experience. And so know that for yourself, everybody, that if you are working through something that looks sticky, messy, rough, and tough, it's only in that experience that is going to polish you and shine you up and help you discover the moreness of who you are. Everything about you is already magnificent. We just get to take away all of that stuff and see it for ourselves. And when we can't see it for ourselves, there's people in our lives, thank goodness, or thank God, that see it for us until we can see it for ourselves. And prayer chaplains and practitioners and ministers and coaches. None of us are going through this life alone. We have people to lean on, support us, and maybe hit us with a cosmic 2x4 when we're not getting it. I love those people. I love the brave souls that are willing to to cosmic 2x4 me
like
into
the
a
time
better
in my life when I've turned to you and said, Steph, Steph.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But we do that for each other too.
We do that. Yeah, we do that for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Okay. Any dice left?
There's one more.
One more. We've got time for it.
Green.
What
do you think that is related to?
Growth.
Abundance.
Yeah.
And this, what came up was generous. Yes.
Yeah. I love the word generous, generosity, givingness of oneself. Yeah.
The degree to which we are giving is the degree to which we are receiving. Oftentimes people try to be more on one side or the other. I know plenty of people who are like, give, but they withhold in receiving. And there are many people who are like, receive, but they withhold in giving. Yeah. And I always say, any place you stop the flow, you are limiting your own experience of abundance. And so generosity is a path toward greater experience of abundance. That's what it all boils down to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you're going to see a lot of people in the next week asking for your generosity. On Tuesday, when we get to Giving Tuesday.
Tuesday, right? There's going to be a whole plentiful nonprofits and charitable organizations trying to prepare themselves for the new year that is coming up, so that they know how to budget and give their services and their charitable contributions. Right? It's this beautiful circulation.
Yeah. Well, this also kind of goes back to the notion of the current, right? We talked about currency before. Well, the current is currency. Each Sunday I say, what you hold in your hand is your contribution to this, your financial contribution to this spiritual center is God in action. That is maintaining your participation in the infinite current and allowing the current to do its work rather than trying to dam up the current in any way. And part of that is if we dam up the current and we withhold, it may create a great big reservoir, but it may not be in service to your greatest expression. And so allow yourself to maintain the flow. And I think in a generous way. And as you give, like I say, what you will find, I believe, is more opportunity to receive. Because here's the thing too, you can never outgive God.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's not possible.
Not possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's something, it's a wonderful exchange of energy. Like when you give of your heart with, so true giving, right? True giving, generosity means there's no strings attached. There's no preconceived notions or conditions upon what it is you are giving. That's generosity. And so when you are in that place of generosity, it feels freaking good. It feels good to give because you have something to give, whether it's time, talent, treasure, skill sets, energy.
Yeah.
Right. If it's yours to give it. It feels great. And at the same time, when others are expressing generosity to you, be open to receive that.
Yes.
Because it's reciprocal. The law of circulation is giving and receiving. So every action, no action is one-sided. My giving to you not only benefits you, it benefits me. My receiving not only benefits me, it benefits you.
Well, you just hit it. There's a law of circulation. That means it is circular. It means it is in a constant state of circular flow. And so if we try to stop it anywhere, then we're out of alignment.
Yeah.
So evolve, I mean, these are out of order of what we just did them in because I didn't keep them in the order, but serene, evolving, steady, curious, and generous. Those were the thoughts, the new thoughts, the radically affirmative new thoughts today. Yeah.
I love doing the dice. That's really helpful.
Yeah. And if you want your own set of intention dice, they are available at unitybooks.org. You can order them.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you're in Tucson, Denise, they're called intention dice. And you can get them at unitybooks.org.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Or if you're in Tucson, I think we have some in our gift store, our book and gift store.
And if you're in Tucson, you're having a very beautiful day.
Yes. 63 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So.
Oh, that's practically chilly.
For us. Yeah.
So I don't know what this is in Fahrenheit, but it's minus 16 degrees Celsius in Winnipeg today.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. The sky is blue today. The sun is shining, and that's why it's cold, because we don't have overcast and cloud today. It's so beautiful today. Yeah, I love a blue sky. Well, that's why I painted my office. The paint in my office is literally called Life Force. That's the name of the color that I chose.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be surrounded by life force for sure. Because I always am.
Yeah. It's 54 Fahrenheit in California State Park's North Coast Redwoods. I love North Coast of California.
Yeah. That's sweater weather, no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, that's
get a nice hoodie or a nice wool sweater. Yeah.
Of course, I walked out of my door. It was 52 degrees when I walked out my door to come to the office today, and I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts. So it's all relative.
It is all relative. Yes. Yeah. Well, I so appreciate we've got likes and loves today by so many folks. So good.
Yeah. And we're going to be back next week, which is Friday, December 6th. December. Wow. We are about to be in December.
We are about to be in September. No, December.
Yeah. We finished September.
I just traveled in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah. December. We are 1 month left of 2024. My mind is boggling about that fact.
As the senior minister.
It feels like it was just, I've been in 2024 for just a couple months. This is insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yes, Denise. Same time, same place. So we are here every Friday at 9:30 Pacific, 11:30 Central. Yeah. And we love Steph and I having this fun time together.
Yeah. And we love all of you watching. We're so grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grateful back. We're so grateful for you.
Yeah.
And bring us your questions. If you have something, we do have fallbacks. We have dice and books, and we have fallbacks for sure. But if you have something on your mind you want us to rant about, let us know. We would love to get into your mind.
Our emails are right there for your enjoyment and communication. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, let us know what's on your mind.
Have a magnificent weekend.
Yeah. For those of you interested, tomorrow is the last Saturday of the month. So One Love Awakening Soul Community meets. And you can find out about that on our website, oneloveawakening.com. We meet 11 a.m. Central Time on Saturdays. And it's just a Zoom room. We come and connect and get to know each other and walk the road together.
If you're interested in what's happening here at Unity of Tucson, well, we do have our Sunday celebration. Oh, I made the announcement last week, though, in Sunday celebration, is that our Sunday celebration is currently at 10 o'clock Arizona time for only 5 more weeks. And then January 5th, 2025, we are changing our service time to 9:15 a.m. The reason for that is because the Center for Spiritual Living Tucson is going to be joining us on our campus here. We have an 18-acre campus, a beautiful facility and building, but they're going to be joining us on our campus here, and they're going to do an 11 o'clock service in the sanctuary here. We'll have the 9:15 service, and we're going to raise the level of new thought up here in Tucson by cooperating as new thought communities.
Collaboration. What an evolution of new thought.
Exactly. A radical idea.
It's a radical idea. Playing nice with others.
All right, beloved. Peace and blessings.
Bye, everybody. Lots of love. We'll see you next week.